Hello friends! Today's video is going to be my monthly anti-haul because there's some tomfoolery coming out of these brands this spring and we need to talk about it, okay? Let's talk about it. So if you've never seen one of my anti-hauls before, I will highly suggest you go watch a handful of them. I highly suggest you go watch Kimberly Clark's channel. Kimberly Clark was the person that made anti-hauls popular in the first place. So these are kind of a way to counteract the kind of cult of consumerism that is often pretty present here on YouTube and general internet social media spheres. People telling folks, oh, you need to buy this thing. Oh, you need this. Oh my God, you need this. It's perfect. You need it. I'm obsessed. I've been guilty of saying that I'm obsessed with products before, and I've tried to kind of take that out of my vernacular, but this is kind of my way to help myself and also help anybody else who needs it to curb spending and curb the want for more, you know? So let's go. Something that I actually saw reviews for and I don't want it because of them. Fenty, bless you Rihanna, you're great, you're awesome, I love your brand. I love it. However, this summer collection that she came out with, there's like a line of lipsticks and liquid eyeliners. The lipsticks look super fun. The lipsticks look really juicy and just like sheer but pigmented and bright. The lipsticks look really fun. The eyeliners, however, okay. So I've seen both Raw Beauty Kristi and Jay Kissa review these liners, and it's not so positive. It's not such a positive review. It looks like a very similar formula to the NYX the bright liquid liners, the ones that are crumbly and terrible and uncomfortable. And I don't even like them from NYX, so I'm not gonna like them when they're more expensive from Fenty. That's one of the reasons why I don't want it, but there's another reason why I don't want to buy it. Another reason why this sets off red flags in my little brain. They're selling these in sets of 3.
Why?
I don't know. Why do we need that? Why do we need 3 colored eyeliners that we may or may not like all of them? Buying things in trios, like a blush trio comes in a palette, highlight trio comes in a palette, contour trio comes in a palette. Things that don't make sense in sets of 3, liquid colorful eyeliners. I don't know. That doesn't seem like it would be all that great. So, I'm sorry, Fenty. Thank you, Kristi, and thank you, Jay Kissa, for talking about these eyeliners, but I don't need them and I'm not going to buy them. Why sell it in a pack of 3? You could have sold them individually and probably made more money because people would be more interested in buying like one thing rather than 3 things. It just seemed like a waste and like a weird choice. Fenty, what are you doing? Please don't. Thank you. Okay, what is next? I hadn't really seen this, and a bunch of you guys mentioned it in a community tab. This is Tom Ford's Emotion Proof Eyeliner. It's a retractable eyeliner that comes in various dark, not like jewel tones, brown, navy, slate, olive, just eyeliner shades that are not that revolutionary. And it's fucking $43. What? What? $43 for a push-up retractable eyeliner? No, sir. No, sir. We fallen for that bullshit. That is just bougie for the sake of being bougie.
Oh, I'm using my Tom Ford Fougere Dark Emerald Emotion Proof Eyeliner.
It's such a dumb name too. It's like, oh, it's not gonna come off if you sob. Like, what? Emotion proof eyeliner. That's ridiculous. Just stop. Let's talk about this Colourpop Watermelon Main Squeeze palette. Everybody is losing their minds over this palette. I had a ton of people like tag me on Instagram and like tweet me and being like, oh my God, tell me not to buy this. Your wish is my command. It was already on my list of things to anti-haul, and here we go. This palette, while it fits into Colourpop's like kind of trend of doing monochromatic 9-pan palettes, like it totally fits into their line. There's the green, there's the purple, there's the pink, and I don't count the other ones as monochromatic because they're not. This one, however, all of the tones look so very similar. There's not a lot of variation in shade. There's like not a lot of light and not a lot of dark. They're all kind of like mid-ish tones. So I can imagine that any look that you would do with this palette would look like every other look you would do with this palette, because they all look so very similar. And I'm not about to go buy a palette that's gonna give me 4 of the same look, you know? I like having a palette that has a array of shades that gives me multiple looks that I can switch it up. Like, I don't want a 9-pan palette for a look I could get with 3 colors. Like, this may be inexpensive, it may be cheap, but like, that doesn't mean that I need it. A pet peeve that I have with it is that they themed it watermelon, but there's no green in the palette. I get that you wanted to kind of fit it in with the monochromatic stuff, then don't theme it after a watermelon. Theme it after a strawberry. Are you kidding me? This is just marketing 101 at its finest, because Colourpop is really good at marketing. Like, Colourpop is very good at marketing. I will give it to them. They are phenomenal at marketing. The only thing that's like bad, but it's not even bad, is that they just release too many products, but that's good for their bottom line. It's just annoying for the rest of us. So they're good at marketing. They released the palette with a really nice photo and it's aesthetically pleasing, and there's like watermelon emojis in the thing. It's pretty, but do I need it? No, because too many shades look exactly the same. All of the looks would look exactly the same. I already have all these shades. That's the thing we also have to remember. Just because they come up with another palette that's pretty that you like doesn't mean that you need it, because you probably already have it. Whenever somebody comes out with a palette, especially Colourpop, take a good hard look at your collection of current Colourpop palettes or other palettes and be like, do I have all of these shades probably 4 times already? Yes. Do you need it? No. I don't need it. Not gonna buy it. Next. The next palette is this Morphe 39S Such a Gem Artistry palette. This is a kind of purpley, pinky, jewel tone palette. It's one of their giant ones that are similar in like layout to the James Charles palette, with there's like 7 bigger shades in the middle and then the other ones are like smaller. I don't fuck with Morphe. Like, even after all of this, I don't want to fuck with them even more. It's a big palette. I don't buy big palettes. You could get this shade range from one of the Colourpop palettes. Like the purple one would be the Colourpop It's My Pleasure palette. That's what it is. The other half looks like Modern Renaissance. It's like, I don't need this because I already have these shades. It's too big. Morphe's shady as fuck. There we go. I like how they're like, this baby will be your new ride or die. Is it though, really? Is it though? The next thing we're going to talk about is this dumb-ass collection from Kim Kardashian West. I'm not even going to touch on the fact that they named their kid Psalm. The God Complex. This collection is the Mrs. West collection. This collection is inspired by the look Makeup by Mario, created on Kim Kardashian's actual wedding day. Talk about marketing 101. You can look like Kim Kardashian because it's what Mario put on her face on her wedding day.
Bullshit!
You're not Mario. This is $30 for a 6-pan eyeshadow palette that's very boring, very basic, something that you probably already have. $42 for a lipstick, a lip liner, and a gloss. $100 for the full collection of some basic ass. This collection looks like something you would find in your parents' drawer from Clinique or Estee Lauder or Mary Kay when you were a child. Boring, it looks chintzy, it doesn't look expensive. I feel like all of Kim Kardashian's collections, everything she comes out with is just like, why? Oh, to make her more money, that's why. Don't need it, not gonna buy it. So Too Faced recently came out with some stuff that I actually kind of want. The ice cream thing that they put out with like the blush duos and then the highlighter palette looks adorable. I kind of want that. Okay? Do I need it right now? No. It's pretty though. But this Shake Your Palm Palms palette, this is what you call phoning it in, okay? The packaging is beautiful. The packaging is adorable. Again, they don't have any fucking greens in here. They have like kind of a greenish, goldish, brownish color. But this, if you have the Sweet Peach palette, you have this. If you have the, if you have any of other Too Faced palettes, you have these colors already. And then one thing that just annoys the hell out of me is that there's 2 pans in here that are a different shape and size. Why? Why did they do that? That doesn't make any sense. Like if you're somebody that doesn't have a huge collection, likes to travel light, likes to have a small amount of product, you don't like to carry around big palettes, I could see this being useful for you. But for somebody like me that has an extensive palette collection, that has an extensive makeup collection, I don't need this. This was just thrown out there to be like, let's see who buys it, because there's zero inspiration behind this. It's not creative. It just is like they sneezed this palette out. You know what this looks like? This looks like they took shades from palettes they discontinued, but with overstock, and then they threw it together. That's why they're different size pants. That's why. It looks like stuff from the Natural Love and then one of the chocolate bar palettes. And they were like, well, we have all these fucking shadows. Let's put them somewhere in a tiny, boring palette. I'm not buying it. Don't need it. You had me with the ice cream stuff. Like, that's cute. I want it. I want it. The next thing we're going to talk about are these giant palettes from Makeup Revolution. I saw these kind of float around my timeline, and it's another one of those moments where the colors are so overwhelming because there's so goddamn many of them. Who needs these giant palettes? I don't. I don't need a palette with like, how many shades are in there? 42? I don't know. Too many. That's how many. Looking at these, I know that they arranged them to make them more interesting than they actually are, but it actually makes it way more annoying. If they had organized these in a way that made sense, they wouldn't be that exciting. Who would want them? But because they organized them
Wild and crazy.
people want to buy them. I don't want to buy them. I don't need them. Yeah, they're $18, but they're giant and I'm never gonna get use out of it. Like, come on. No, absolutely not. This next one, I feel like it was inevitable that I was gonna talk about this. Because BH, you were doing well. Like the Aquarius and the Aries, they looked fine. What is this Gemini palette? This palette is so dusty and boring. It's been done 800 times over. This looks like something that Colourpop would have made 2 years ago. It looks like they made the Yes Please palette, desaturated the shit out of it, and added some like brownish green that's not even that green. Melt Cosmetics knows how to make a Gemini palette. This was not it. Come on, damn it, BH. I was rooting for you.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
Anyway, this was such a disappointment. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is more stuff from Huda, and it further exemplifies why I do not trust her with skincare advice and skincare products, because they released a Resting Boss Face, kind of a cool name, waterproof setting spray, ultra matte finish. Apparently, to Huda, ultra matte finish means taking alcohol and sucking all the moisture out of your face, because the first ingredient in this setting spray is
Alcohol.
bullshit. You can make setting sprays with alcohol in it, but it should never be the first ingredient. Especially for my skin, for my dry ass skin, I would never put something that would stay on my face all day. That's like the first ingredient is alcohol. Even make the first ingredient water. Extra, what is it, hairspray? That's what it fucking looks like. I mean, I love the idea of a continuous spray bottle. Like Morphe has one too, and I wish more brands would come out with that, but alcohol should not be the first ingredient in a setting spray. I'm not gonna buy it. Just pay attention to ingredients, please. Some brands are better with ingredients than others. Huda is not, usually. Huda's ingredients are questionable, to say the least. So I don't need it and I'm not gonna buy it. Next, we're gonna talk about this Aladdin collection from MAC. Now, when I first saw the images come out about the highlighter, it looked real pretty. Now, I've kind of stopped purchasing from MAC because I'm trying to be cruelty-free, so I wouldn't buy it because of that. But also, this movie doesn't look good. Like, why did Guy Ritchie direct it? Why did Baz Luhrmann not? I am not super stoked and super hyped for this movie. It looks really weird. I don't feel like it's gonna be a great representation of the source material. And I feel like Disney is going so in on marketing and so in on collaborations and branded products, promoting the hell out of it by any means necessary. And that also means collaborating with MAC for an entire collection. Now, Disney owns so much intellectual property right now that I am very wary of anything that Disney does. Like, I love Marvel. I will support my Marvel movies, and I'm kind of excited to see what they're gonna do with X-Men, but like, I'm skeptical and conspicuous about anything that Disney does right now because they own so much of the market, and it's kind of terrifying. Like, we need to really be paying attention to what these companies are acquiring, because it's literally like the opposite of Oprah, where Oprah's like, and you get a car, and you get a car. Disney's like, and I get an one intellectual property, and then I get another intellectual property, and one more intellectual property for me. So just be skeptical of these giant companies, and I wouldn't support this just because it's based on a Disney movie, because it's not that I don't want to support Disney. I kind of don't want to support Disney on everything. They shouldn't own as much as they do, and I kind of realized that recently. I was like, oh shit, every time I would walk by the Disney store, there's like everything in there now. Star Wars, Marvel. I'm sorry, Star-Lord is not a Disney prince.
Shut up.
And this collection just looks super boring. Like, it doesn't look that exciting. It doesn't look like that inspiring. The packaging seems pretty, but like, I don't know, the colors don't look like anything that's that interesting to me. I don't want to give in to these branded collaborations with Disney from anybody, really. So, this next one we're going to talk about, I am truly shook over. I am truly angry and truly fucked up about. I've talked about this in videos before, and I've talked about it in this video particularly. I'm not a huge fan of celebrity makeup lines unless it's like Fenty, where it really felt like she had a lot of creative control. Kim Kardashian, Bella Thorne, whatever she came out with. Hailey Bieber is coming out with a makeup line. Why? I don't see her wearing that much makeup. Who fucking cares? All these celebrities are coming out with makeup lines, and I believe it was Nisi Pisa, go subscribe to her channel, she's great, mentioned in a video that the celebrity makeup lines of today are like the celebrity perfumes of the late 90s and early 2000s. Every pop star had a perfume. Now, all the Instagram stars are coming out with makeup lines. While I have my issues, it's really not that deep. It doesn't matter that much in the larger scheme of things. Makeup is frivolous. You put it on your face, you clean it off at the end of the day. It's fun, it's creative. Skincare, on the other hand, will not bamboozle me. Skincare, I mentioned this in another video. Unless you are a skincare professional working in skincare, I don't want to buy skincare from you. I don't want to trust your skincare opinion. I don't want to buy Tati's vitamins. I don't want to buy Huda's skincare. Skincare is different from makeup. Makeup, not that deep. Skincare literally goes into your face. Kylie Jenner came out with a skincare line that basically stole the packaging from Saturday Skin. But Kylie Jenner would not use this. Kylie Jenner does not use this skincare. Kylie Jenner has expensive procedures done. Kylie Jenner has expensive products she uses and expensive things that's sent to her. Kylie Jenner can afford that because she is a billionaire at this point. Is she a billionaire? I don't know. Kylie Jenner has money. She's not going to use these products on herself. So that's one reason. But the biggest reason that really grinds my gears about this brand is that they're selling a walnut scrub. Don't trust your opinion at all, because you shouldn't scrub your face with walnut shells, because that's gonna cause micro tears, and that's not good for your skin. Is it 2003 and we're all using St. Ives apricot scrub? We've figured out that doesn't work by now, okay? It's gonna pull bacteria across your face. It's gonna irritate your skin, especially when they're like jagged edges and stuff.
No.
In all my years working at Lush and all my years with the sensitive ass face that I have, I know that that shit does not work, that shit is not what you're supposed to scrub on your face. And the fact that Kylie Jenner is marketing a walnut scrub to her billions of fans, not cool with it, okay? Not gonna buy it. They shouldn't be selling it. Kylie Jenner does not use a fucking walnut scrub on her face. Are you kidding me? That's preposterous. It's ridiculous, and I'm not gonna buy it, and I don't need it, and you shouldn't buy it either, because Kylie Jenner is not a skincare professional. Ugh. Hey, editing Abby here. So I thought I would be on top of things and I would be able to finish this video by the time people came out with like more shit, but nope. Brands are just too fast for this editor. Let's talk about the Jaclyn Hill lipstick launch. I've never been a huge Jaclyn Hill fan. I've never really had much against her, but I've never really watched her videos, so I don't really care much. This lipstick, it's all nudes. I mean, it's expected from her, but like, I don't need it. Also, the component is so gaudy. Like, literally the first images that popped out with the diamond on the end, it looked like one of those, like, you know, butt plugs that's got jewels on it. How many times has Abby mentioned butt plugs in anti-hauls? I don't know. I mean, they're $18, so they're not the most expensive, but they're not the least expensive. So like, that's a good middle of the road thing. It's like MAC prices. And the diamond, that's just, it's very early 2000s glam. And I'm not about that right now. Sorry, Jaclyn, I won't be buying any of your nude lipsticks. Also, the image that she promoted it with on Instagram, like, what was that? She came in like a wrecking ball. No. Nerp. And you know how earlier in this exact video I said that Colourpop comes out with products too often? They beat me again. This Blue Moon palette. I kind of want it. I kind of do. It's real pretty. This is the variation of shades that I'm talking about. There's some like dark and then there's some light. It's a spectrum. It's a gradient of sorts. The red was not a gradient. This, however, is a gradient and it's real pretty and I want it, but do I ever wear blue eyeshadow? When was the last time you saw me wear blue eyeshadow? If I had this, would I wear blue eyeshadow? I don't know. So, will I buy this? I don't know. Do I need it? I don't need it, but I want it. You almost got me. Back to the video. One thing that I hadn't planned on mentioning, and one thing that I wish I wouldn't have to, from this point on, at this present point, I'm not going to be buying anything from Wet n Wild. Because if you heard today, as I'm recording this, Wet n Wild released a statement saying that they've been selling in mainland China for over a year, lying to everyone, so they're no longer cruelty-free. I've only recently, like in the last year or so, kind of pushed to not buying products tested on animals at all, and I'm constantly kind of impressed with what Wet n Wild comes out with, and they've been a brand that's super accessible to people who are getting into cruelty-free makeup and are trying to go cruelty-free because they're very inexpensive. They're available at most drugstores, and they have fun products. Their complexion range is abysmal, but their color makeup, like their eyeshadows and their blushes and their lipsticks, they have some of my favorite lipstick formulas. This is really disappointing. It's one thing to not be cruelty-free. It's one thing to say that you're going to start selling in China. These brands who decided to start selling in China and kind of go against their original kind of cruelty-free stance. It's one thing to admit that and lose some customers. They were honest about that decision. They were transparent about that decision. It's another thing to completely deceive everybody. It's another thing to say that you're cruelty-free and use that as part of your branding and like use it, like be proud of it, and then sell in China where still currently you can't guarantee that things are not tested on animals because of aftermarket rules, aftermarket testing. I'll post a link to Logical Harmony's video in the description. She kind of laid it out pretty simply. And it's super deceiving. Like that's terrible to lie by omission. Like that's a new low. Now, people who maybe don't necessarily have the means to go buy expensive cruelty-free products, they can go into any Target and buy Wet n Wild. Now those people, they can't go buy those products anymore. In lying to your entire US audience or entire audience outside of China, they probably lost a ton of customers. So many customers. Like, was it worth it?
What did it cost?
Just own up to it. They've just been talking the talk, and that's fucked. That Crystal Cavern collection from Wet n Wild looked really cute. Like, if I had seen it in a store, I probably would have bought it because it looked real fun and the branding was really pretty. And now that's not gonna happen. Don't need it. Not gonna buy it. So I think we've been talking for long enough. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything that you've been anti-hauling, anything that you've seen that you really don't need this spring. There's constantly stuff coming out that I want to talk about, and sometimes I can't keep up with it. So I'm going to try and post this as quickly as possible so it doesn't get too outdated and like brands decide to come out with like fucking 8 products tomorrow, and then I'm like, well, for today's song of the day, because I haven't had one in a few videos, it's Squeaky Tiki from the Coat Hangers, and Coat Hangers actually played on my show last weekend. It was real cool. I got to see them at Fisherman's Village Music Festival up in Everett last weekend, and it was a good show. They were really great. I had never seen the Coat Hangers before. This song particularly is really fun because Julia, the lead singer, gets up and like part of the song, she's like squeaking a dog toy into the microphone. So it has this like really weird chorus. It's fun. thank you for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done it yet and you want to see more of me. It's not a Monday, I know, but I got my Olin Rogers merch in the mail and I was really excited, so I wore it. Thanks so much to my patrons. I've got some fun stuff coming on my Patreon this week. Got some home movies that I'm releasing in their entirety, so I've been doing live streams every weekend, so if you haven't checked out my Patreon, please go do. That would be really cool. I'll see y'all on my next video. Bye!